All right. So we'll see everybody jumping in here in a little bit,
Okay.
but give them some time because I know we have back-to-back sessions today,
Oh
which is
yeah, that's fun.
it's always good in that, people get that adrenaline going. They don't have to travel very far though.
Yeah, exactly. It's much easier than doing
Oh my
a
gosh. A
yeah,
physical in
physical
person.
because you gotta fly, you've gotta drive, you gotta
Yes. Oh my gosh. And then you have to, if you're jumping from room to room, well, you don't know if you're gonna make it. At least we just have them clicking between screens. So that's quite okay. I know George has joined us already. So we have one person in the room. I'll give them some time to get
yeah,
in because I know we have some sessions going on. So, but definitely interested for your findings and what you found for this
yeah.
particular presentation. So that is going to be very interesting for me.
Yeah.
I love these findings, right?
Yeah, so and obviously I'll share a lot more, once we really get into it. But yeah, I
Hmm.
had the best time ever just talking to over 100 people in our community,
Wow.
asking them about their challenges, what's currently going on, what are you seeing, what are you facing? Like
Oh my gosh.
it was so much fun. It was very enlightening. And obviously that's what today is all about.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, definitely. Because I know they had a lot of fun talking to you as well.
yeah,
Because they get to tell their story. And that's important. So
yeah,
important for them to do. So
yeah.
I'm gonna just kick you off. I know we have our attendees getting in here. I want to make sure that they're settled and they got their drink of water because you have to stay hydrated these days. It's very hot. Well, at least on my side, but still you need to stay hydrated. So I'm gonna kick it off. I am so excited that we get to have Ryan Chan from UpKeep. He is the CEO and founder, one of our really good friends, doing amazing things in the industry, always keeping the community at heart. And we will talk some more about that a little bit later. But he actually is going to give us some more information on his 2023 State of the Maintenance Community Report findings. If you heard us before discussing, Ryan conducted, I want to say, a million interviews, but it may not be that much, with everybody in the maintenance industry, finding out all that all of their information, and he is going to present it to us in a little bit. So I'm gonna give it over to you, Ryan. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, Sonia. It's awesome to be here, and thank you everyone for joining today's session as well. As Sonia mentioned, I got the opportunity to basically talk to over 100 people in the industry to share, that basically shared their stories about what's happening on the ground floor of maintenance, operations, reliability. And it was one of the most incredible experiences, just hearing about people's stories. So today I wanted to share with all of you what I learned and what I heard from those 100 customer and community interviews that I did. What I want to do is kick things off with just sharing a little bit more about myself. So I'll do that, and then I actually have about 40 slides. So we're going to just run through these, speed through all of the report findings. So a little bit about myself. My name is Ryan. As Sonia mentioned, I'm the CEO and founder of UpKeep. We build software for maintenance, reliability, operations teams. A little bit about myself and my background. I went to Cal Berkeley as a chemical engineer, and I worked as a process engineer at a manufacturing plant where we manufactured reverse osmosis membranes for brackish water desalination and loaded wastewater. I spent, so many hours thinking about how do we speed up our entire manufacturing process, make it go better, smoother, faster, run more reliably, and break down less. But what I said was, man, technology right now is decades behind where it should be. So I set out on this mission to build great software for maintenance, reliability, operations teams, and that's what UpKeep is. And over the past 7 years, our team has grown a bunch. We're a team of 150 people just purely dedicated to this mission. And for me, I'm incredibly passionate about this industry, maintenance, reliability, operations. I think there's so much opportunity here. And as Sonia mentioned, over the past few months, I just set out on this mission because of my passion to go talk to 100 people. Talk to 100 people in our industry to go hear what's top of mind for you and them. And so the goal for today is just share with all of you what I learned through those 100 conversations. Maybe not a million, Sonia, but I probably talked to a million people over the past 7 years in our industry, which helped guide a lot of these conversations. And again, incredibly insightful. So I wanted to share this report with you all today. To give you some background on who I talked to, though, I talked to people all over the world. But what we really focused on actually was North America. We talked to 100 people, about 33% maintenance reliability managers, 22% consultants. We talked to exec leaderships, all the way down to the actual technicians on the ground floor. It was incredible. It was awesome. So insightful hearing from so many different industries and also different levels within a single business. When I talked to these 100 people, there are 3 common themes amongst almost every single conversation that I had. The first theme that I heard is 1, the talent pool shortage is real and everyone's feeling the effects of it. It was literally the first thing that came up top of mind when I talked to 100 people. It was almost always, this labor shortage is real. It's difficult to hire. It's difficult to retain. There's 2.5 million unfilled jobs that are going to go unfilled by 2028. And we're feeling the effects of it. The community is feeling the effects of it right now and today. The second most common theme that we heard and that I heard, COVID. I thought COVID was done. No, COVID has still caused these significant changes to the maintenance industry over the last 3 years. Hiring has been more difficult. Supply chain effects are still being felt, and there's more deferred maintenance than ever. So we're kind of living in this post-COVID era, but we're still feeling the effects of COVID. So maintenance reliability has been changed forever, but we're still feeling the effects of it right now and today. The third most common theme that I heard talking to 100 people in the industry, AI. Everyone's so excited about AI. It was one of the most common themes that came up. It was all about AI and technology. How is it being used? But what I also heard from our community is the path to implementation in the future is uncertain. There's few that advocate for cautious integration. There's also others that see AI as this absolutely transformative solution. So I want to kick us off and really go deep into the 3 core themes that I heard from our community. I'm going to start us off with what was the biggest topic conversation? It really was this labor shortage. The stats say in the last 10 years, the industry has experienced a shortage of over 2.5 million skilled professionals in maintenance operations reliability. You all, are here for the LRVS summit. You're all, in the maintenance reliability operations space. I'm sure you're feeling this as well. We talked to 100 people. 94% of them said they're experiencing shortages in both operator and maintenance positions within their facilities. And the most common theme, they don't know how to solve this problem. And as I mentioned, COVID only made things worse for the industry. 75% of companies are still struggling to attract young professionals amidst this remote work trend, aging workforce, and automated industry. We talked to a lot of people, and I wanted to share some quotes that we also heard from our community. Sean Eisenhower, is the owner of Iriducio, and he sees and talks to hundreds of companies on an annual basis. And so he has it from a much more macro lens. And what he's seeing, people are now trying to get into roles where they can work more flexible hours from home. And that is contributing to the inability to fill maintenance and engineering roles. Not only is hiring difficult, but it's also difficult to bring new people into the industry. And so there's this common question that our community had. How do we respond to this shortage? How do we respond to hiring being more difficult, a shorter labor pool, and a shorter talent pool as well? We asked the community, and what did they say? 70% of organizations right now are turning to hiring contractors to fill this void. Again, you all are here for the LRVS, conference. I'm sure this has come up at least once, if not twice, or you're already implementing this. 70% of organizations are looking at contractors and hiring contractors to fill this short-term need of just, we don't have enough people. So we're okay hiring contractors to fill this void for now. How else is our community trying to, solve this shortage? Well, right now, they're just simply deferring maintenance because there's not enough people to do the work. It's a difficult problem to solve, and it's not getting any better and not getting any easier for our community. Labor's tough, shortage of new hires coming in. So what's the solution? It's hire contractors and defer maintenance. That's the most common trend that we heard. And again, everyone here is, I'm guessing, very, very skilled in maintenance reliability practices. This is not a good long-term solution. All right, what else is going on in the community? Supply chain issues have not been fully resolved following the 2 years of COVID disruptions. I'm sure we all remember, the Evergrande being stuck in the Suez Canal, and supply chain issues. I think a lot of the news centered around supply chain has kind of faded. But if you're in the industry, our community is feeling and has felt this effect of the supply chain, years after that. We're end of 2023, and what we're seeing and what we've heard from the community is that spare parts lead times have become tremendously long from the norm 3 years ago. 3.5 years ago, it took 4 weeks to order, but now it takes 10 to 12 weeks. And what happens right now is companies are ordering more because of extended lead times, which isn't the right answer, is what one of our friends, William Sloan, said. There has been significant change happening in maintenance over the last 3 years as a result of this, COVID pandemic. The supply chain issues are still going on. While the lead times may have reduced from, let's call it 36 weeks down to 10 to 12, it's still 3 times higher than what it was pre-COVID. And so again, the entire role of maintenance, reliability, operations, the way we operate has completely shifted over the last 3 years. And right now, what we've heard from our community is they're raising their hand and saying, hey, things have changed. We need to change as well. We can't keep doing the things that we used to be doing to operate the same way. They're raising their hand. Our community is voicing this. But the community, what we've heard from so many conversations is that they feel like their voices aren't actually heard by decision makers at the top. What our community is saying is that it's difficult to get executive leadership to really buy in and prioritize maintenance and reliability. When they talk to upper management, there's this recurring experience that a lot of our community feels. Maintenance is often viewed as this cost center. So what currently is happening from the executive leadership perspective? Right now, again, they don't feel like their voice is being heard at the top. So what's happening is that oftentimes, maintenance budgets are getting cut, and deferring work is a result of this. So it almost feels like we're in this spiral effect. The entire industry has changed. We've got a shorter labor pool. We're cutting down maintenance budgets. We're deferring work. And right now, what one of our friends said, at Host Terminals, Dale Williams said, we're having a difficult time to get not just executive leadership to really buy into the maintenance repair strategy, but right now what's happening to our community and the equipment is operations are being pushed to run, our equipment is suffering. We're all here for lubrication, vibration summit. We all know the value of reliability, and we all know the value of preventive maintenance. And we know that if we hire contractors, push out work, push all of our equipment to the max and beyond our operating system, something is going to break. And right now, it doesn't look too good. What we've heard from our community is just raising their hand, saying, "Hey, we got to stop this. We got to fix something." So I've covered two of our main themes that we've heard from many of our community. One is this labor shortage and how difficult it is, how difficult it has gotten. And then two, the long-lasting effects of COVID. The most interesting topic when I asked our community, hey, what's top of mind for you? Outside of obviously, the effects of COVID and also the labor shortage, they mentioned AI. AI is one of the most common topics that we heard across the board from our entire community. We really delved into this topic and saw a pretty diverse set of opinions about what people in our industry and community think of AI and where it's going. I would say the common theme that emerged, though, is that the path towards AI implementation and maintenance reliability operations is pretty unclear still. We surveyed the community. They said 86% of people basically said they're super supportive of AI and the implementation of AI in maintenance and operations. I think everyone's just looking for new ways to get new people into the industry and solve this labor shortage, stop being overworked, and get more tools and innovation into the space. So it was actually overwhelming. 86% of people said, they're actually very, very supportive of AI and the implementation of AI. But then we also asked this question, hey, do you feel like you're ready? Do you feel like your organization is ready to implement AI? And 71% of companies and organizations basically said they're either moderately or not ready at all. So what this stat really highlights to me is there's a lot of interest, but right now people don't feel like the organization is up to a level where they can actually utilize AI. And so we started also asking one level deeper, hey, have you used any AI technologies just yet? It's actually really cool. 60% of the people that I talked to actually said that they have used either a ChatGPT or some AI product in their daily operations. And we started asking, what do you use it for? It's really interesting. Some people are doing some anomaly detection, getting really, really advanced. Others are, kind of just using ChatGPT to help create a blueprint for preventive maintenance schedules on their assets. So our community is trying to leverage AI just at maybe a personal or a team level. They're very excited about it. They're using, very simple rudimentary AI technologies to help, simplify their daily lives. But at the company level, very interestingly, they feel like the company is not ready to deploy AI at a corporate level. So very, very interesting. We started asking our community, and I got the chance to ask our community again, dive one layer deeper. And I said, okay, well, tell me about some of the challenges. Tell me about some of the potentials here. And again, what people mentioned was, there's some people very, very ecstatic, enthusiastic about AI's potential, but there are others who are very skeptical and really question the readiness and feasibility of, can we actually do this at scale? Again, our friend Sean Irduccio, he basically mentioned there's still a lot of, hallucinations, false information that AI has. And before it can really, really be helpful, we got to get rid of all these hallucinations, these false information that it, basically is spewing out. for the folks that have used, any AI products, it's really good actually at convincing you of false information. But what Sean mentioned, our community mentioned, is once we can build these knowledge bases of maintenance, reliability, operations, have the correct data set, that will unlock the ability for AI to actually provide very factual, very direct feedback that enables us to be 10 times more productive. So overall, when we talk to our community, they said, very excited about AI, using it personally, small applications, but at a corporate level, we're just not ready just yet. There's too many hallucinations. It's too difficult to rely on for really, really important, practices within our plant. So overall, if I had to sum this up, I would say our community believes, the path to AI is pretty unclear, but people are excited. And the common theme that I heard too, when we started asking our community, oh, what do you think about AI replacing our jobs in physical environments? What our community responded with was actually a very positive sentiment. They actually said, I'm not afraid of AI. I actually think maintenance, reliability, operations is a great place to be in, because you're going to have complex equipment where equipment does fail and needs, highly trained, highly skilled technicians to come in and fix that. Our community believes that we are in a great position to be set up for success. And so they're not afraid of AI. They actually do believe that this human-to-human interaction in the maintenance industry is invaluable. And I agree. I agree with our community in that response. Our community said to me and to us that both they're excited about innovation, they need that, but they believe and we believe that humans and human capabilities are still needed to address the big challenges our industry faces that we're not going to get replaced completely by AI. So instead of shunning it away, our community is actually embracing it. And so those were the three main themes that we heard, and I heard when I got the chance to talk to over 100 people in our industry. And I'll say here that, I and we have really only scratched the surface of understanding these complex industry issues that our industry faces. These are three common themes. It was so incredible learning from our community and being able to put together this report. If you're curious what comes next for me and for us, I'm going to continue these conversations. And I want to talk to our community. As Sonia mentioned at the very beginning, 1 million people, that is my goal. I don't want to just stop at 100. I want to stop once we get to 1 million and even more, because our industry is changing. It's evolving every single day, and the needs of our community are changing. And so if you're interested in sharing your insights, your experiences, your thoughts, I would love to hear from you. You can reach out to me directly. My name is Ryan again. I'm the CEO and founder of UpKeep. My email is pretty simple, ryan@upkeep.com. And again, I mentioned we just scratched the surface of the 100 conversations. These were just 3 themes, but you can actually, if you're interested, read the entire report. We packaged our 100 community interviews into this 40-page report that goes into the 15 main themes that we heard across the community. Today, we just surfaced the 3 of them. You can actually download the entire report on our website. If you go into upkeep.com, go into our download section. And before I pass it over to questions, I just have to say thank you to the 100 people that helped contribute to this report, and for all of your incredible impact supporting and sustaining our world. This is my biggest passion, and it was just insanely, incredibly, it was so much fun getting to talk to, so many people in our industry. It was absolutely an incredible experience. I want to continue this. So please do reach out to me, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm going to wrap it up and just say thank you, thank you, thank you. I know we have about 5 minutes left if we've got any questions too.
We do have a really good question though, and it's coming from Paul. And he's wondering if, do you think that people are saying AI and they're really talking about big data or data analytics? That's a good question. Paul, I want you to ask that in the AI session that we have later on today on the panel as well. But go
Yeah,
ahead, Ryan.
it's a very good question because you're absolutely right. I think people have different interpretations of what AI means. I think in our interviews, I was pretty clear though about what AI meant. In terms of, I think most people that I talked to were most interested in ChatGPT because that was the big new thing that had just come out at that time. Data analytics, I do think gets confused with, AI, but, really where I think people are most interested in is, when I was talking to them was more around like ChatGPT technologies and building this concept of general AI that could be applied in maintenance reliability, writing, PMs for me or doing procedures.
All right. I think that would be pretty cool too, though. I will fact check it though, because I've had some stuff with ChatGPT. I have a question from Rich. He's asking, based on these discussions, where do you think the biggest opportunity is for reliability solution providers to fill the gaps in one way or another?
Oof. All right.
Rich will give you a hard question.
Where do you think the biggest opportunity is for reliability solutions providers?
That's a tough one.
I'm
Thanks,
gonna
Rich.
I'm gonna answer the question with Rich. I know we know each other, and I'm gonna answer the question from my point of view, but I'm also very, very certain that you may have a different perspective and also even more perspective than I do in this. The biggest challenge that companies are facing right now is obviously this labor shortage. It's hard to bring new people in. And I've been toying with this idea around training. I mean, it's all about like training the existing team that you have and upskilling them. So, from a reliability solutions provider, I think it really comes down to training. And what I'm going to say is training operators to think higher level, because operators have a unique skill set. They're standing right next to the equipment. And right now, I believe that there's a huge opportunity in training the operators to think much more high level, to think much more about reliability. Because every single business right now is thinking, how do we bring new people in? How do we bring new people in? How do we hire? How do we, how can we juice up the compensation package to bring new people in? And they kind of forget about the people that they have right now in their business.
Oh, okay. So I do have a quick question again. Um, when the manpower is low, how do you spare people for training? Oh boy,
Oh my
Kevin.
gosh.
And that's coming from Bahrain. Thanks, Kevin.
Again, it's this like vicious cycle because
Yes.
the community has been saying like, all right, reduce maintenance budget, not enough people, too difficult to hire, like, executive leadership isn't hearing me. It's difficult.
It is. It's such a balance to get that sorted. Like, I hear you with that.
It is difficult. It is very difficult. And Kevin, I don't have the right solution here. But companies have to invest in training. And I think what I often see is that people are so focused on bringing net new people into the business, and it all comes down to, the people that you have. The best way to not need to worry about having to hire one more person is to retain the existing team. So what I always say to companies and businesses is exactly precisely that. If you want to keep people, if you want to maintain, high retention rates and not need to worry about opening up another job rec, you have to invest in people's career development. You have to, even if it comes at a cost of, a little bit of downtime, even if it comes at a cost of, a little bit of production loss.
Yeah, because you'll have so much more production loss after if you don't invest
Exactly.
in the training. That's the thing. And just bringing it back, Ravi is talking about this is why we need to encourage more people in STEM, of course. And Ahmed is talking about, making sure that we have the basics covered in our training. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Oh boy. No, Rich is back with us again. He's saying, how about shorter, hard-hitting, targeted training rather than the long multi-day classes where you can't, your all of your employees are, you know, down for the day if you do one of those training sessions. Yeah, I hear you, Rich. I can't do those long training sessions either.
It's tough. It's tough.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so
Well, thank you, Sonia, and thank you
yes.
everyone for joining as well, and thank you for having me. Again, it was incredible doing these 100 interviews, and I hope I get the chance to complete that millionth interview.
Yes, I'm counting on you, Ryan. Totally counting on you. We will get that done. So thank you all so much staying with us. Quick plug for Ryan. If you haven't gotten this book yet, check it out. Mine is signed, but Ryan signed it for me. But definitely check it out. It's on Amazon. Um, have more fun in the different sessions that we have later on today. And Ryan, thank you so much for your time. If you get some time, check out the UpKeep pledge on their website. They have some more information on it. Definitely something you want to get involved in. So thanks so much, everyone, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.